Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Daniel Umstead, host of the RNG Radio Show. And today's guest, I'm just honored to have her on, another director, but this director, is beating out everybody else. Tyler Perry is even shivering in his boots because the lady that I brought to the RNG Radio Show is none other than Cyndi Beachem of Roman Movie LLC. Cyndi, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and I just want to make a small correction. I'm a producer, not a director.
Producer, okay. My deepest apologies. So producing the arts that's making Tyler Perry shaking his boots like, wait, what is she doing? What?
God's ears.
Yes. Or at least combining. Tyler Perry and grew up watching Oprah, and then now they're working on their own network. So hey, Cyndi Beachem is going to be the next person on the own network.
It can happen.
It will happen. Hey, we don't do that here, Cyndi.
Right.
It will happen. It will happen. That's why I got you on the show. So tell the folks at home all about Roman Movie LLC.
Okay. So the movie, the business actually started back in 2014. I published a couple of books. So my first book I published in 2007, that's Struck by Lightning. You see behind me, which way am I leaning? But behind me, that's a book of short stories. The other one is HB, that's a novel. My first novel I published in 2010. And then the third book is an excerpt from the novel that I'm writing my first screenplay on. But Struck by Lightning. So I met my late husband now in 2008, and I was 50 years old when I met him, and I had already written that book, and there's a story in there where the main character's name is George. Well, his name was George too, so I had to tell him about this is not you, I didn't know you when I wrote this story. But anyway, the stories all are they're kind of dark, bolts of reality. There are some tough issues in there that people can relate to. I had an opportunity to add another story to the book because I had finally, I was able to go to a second printing with that book, which was a blessing. So I said, okay, I'm gonna, republish it and add another story, but I'd like to add a story from a man's perspective. I started trying to think like a man, and it became an impossible feat for me to even try to put my brain in, in that kind of frame of mind. And I said, I have my husband here, so you got quite a few stories. And he was like, oh yeah, he said, if you can handle it,
it's gonna come. It's gonna come.
Yep. And that's how the movie got started, because we wrote a story together. I republished the short stories, and then a director from Philly read it, and he felt it would make a good movie. And I was like, wow. I've been writing books for years. No one has ever asked,
like now all of a sudden, God, really? God, we're doing this now?
Exactly. And so, we were like, really? So we sat down, we got together, talked about it, and it was my first rodeo was being a producer. It was trial by fire. But, we started trying to raise some money so we can, get it off the ground. We talked about the actors we would need. The director, he wrote the screenplay. His name is Dwight Wilkins. He has an IMDb page. He's done other feature films. And he's in Philadelphia. He's gotten an award for one of his films, one of his short films and everything. So look up Dwight Wilkins when you get a chance. And so we were just about to start casting, in the South Jersey area using backstage.com. For anybody that's into this business, we used backstagefilm.org in Philadelphia and one other avenue to get some actors to audition. And we rented a theater in Philadelphia and held auditions. Right before we were about to start that, my husband passed away suddenly. And it was tragic. I mean, it was just it was mind blowing because he got sick on a Friday. We had a meeting with the director that night, and then by Monday he didn't go to work. He went to the doctor because he didn't feel good, and then by Tuesday he was gone. He had double pneumonia. You know, doctor didn't even detect it. He just sent him home to get a prescription. You know, but he was so sick. I was like, you have to go to the hospital. But by the time we got there, it was too late. And so that stalled the entire project for a year because I couldn't wrap my mind around it. But then, you know, the director, after about a year, contacted me and we got back on the horse and we raised money. We hired 12 actors. We were able to get a crew together. So we had a cast and crew of 22 people. We shot the movie in 12 locations between South Jersey and Philadelphia. Wow. And now the movie is being entered into major film festivals. So far we're entered, not selected yet, but we're entered in Sundance.
Hey,
Atlanta Film Festival.
Being out a whole lot of people who are just looking right now like, they in where? Sundance?
Yeah, Toronto, International. Okay. I just submitted it into the International Film Festival of Rotterdam. That's a big one. The Pan-African Film Festival. And the reason we're going for the top ones first, because if you start at the smaller festivals and you do and they select your movie, and it gets broadcast to an audience, that kind of knocks you out of the qualifications for the bigger festivals. So
so you might as well start at the top.
You gotta go for the
do not listen to Drake. Listen to Cyndie, okay? Do not start at the bottom and get here. Start at the top and then get there.
Go for it. And I mean, face it, you know, I've seen movies with major actors that I'm looking at mine, I'm like, our movie's better than that. So,
should we talk about Fatal Affair that came on Netflix?
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
And that thing.
That's right.
I love seeing Neil Long, but
it doesn't.
We're not going to talk about that. Go ahead.
It doesn't guarantee that the movie is good, is what I'm. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But Netflix would be great, and to get in front of those major film festivals is a good way to get in front of the network executives and distribution houses and things like that. So that's the strategy we're taking right now. And like I said, we're in circulation in front of juries at major film festivals. So like I said, you know, and then you have to wait for them to come around. Now, COVID did kind of mess some things up. So we wanted to do Cannes. That's the most expensive one. And Spike Lee is now the president of the Cannes Film Festival. It's in France. I've learned about getting subtitling done and and all the technical stuff with that. And, just you have to get your film in the right format and all that kind of stuff for the festivals and things like that. But we were able to do it. And I didn't want to forget to mention our most famous actor that did agree to be in our film. And trust me, we did not have a lot of budget, okay? We, just thank God for family, friends, and everything else. And we were begging everybody. But Brian Anthony Wilson, he was in The Wire, and he was Detective Holly in The Wire.
I saw that face before.
And he's
because I saw the trailer and I was like, I know that guy.
Yep,
I know that guy.
He's in a lot of movies, and he's friends with the director, so he agreed to do our movie. We only had him for one day, so we had to.
That's all I needed, brother. Thank you.
Our shoot schedule, everything around his schedule. You know what I mean, to get that part done. And so it was great. It was a learning experience, like I said. And the trailer's out there for everybody to see. You know, we need more likes on YouTube. So hopefully people will search for Roman movie on YouTube.
In the comments. Go ahead.
Yes. And click like. Don't forget to click like.
Definitely. Awesome. And then where can folks actually go online to check more about the movie and even, more about you in the background and such? Or are you able to share your screen to show?
Yep, I certainly will. So I will do that right now. So I'm going to click share screen and share. Okay. And you can see my screen now?
Yes, perfectly.
All right. So this is my website. It's cydwebsterbeachem.com. I don't know if you can see that part up at the top there.
In the comment section, I'm gonna make sure everybody gets.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. So right here, you can just click right here and see the trailer if you want to. The next page I have here is a film poster page that is required, when you submit to film festival. So that's our film poster.
Okay.
We have a lot of information about the cast and the crew here. And this is basically our pitch deck. You do have to make your pitch deck digital as well as have it, like a PDF file.
Now, what's the pitch deck?
So the pitch deck is it's almost like a little business plan, but I can show you a couple of more pages. So you have a cover, you're gonna explain a short synopsis, your log line, you're gonna give some information about your actors, your locations, your film format, the director, the producers, and your casting crew. And it's something that you would walk into a meeting with executives, in your hand, but also be able to refer them to your website. So you have to have everything digital also for people to refer to. You also need to have something in your hand just in case. Like, I wouldn't be unprepared, either way. And so, and everything is more picturesque, not a lot of words, not wordy. But this is the page about our film. When I was telling you about our film festivals that we're entering into. So these are some of the festivals we're entering into. Telluride, Colorado, BFI. BFI in London, they sent us our money back because of COVID. They're not doing their film festival this year.
Oh man. Well, you know what? I'll say this for them to be that respectful, because they could have just said like, "Hey, thanks for the money, appreciate you. We'll let you know what happens." So I'm glad that they did the honorable thing and giving the money back.
Yep, I thought that was great too. And then if you scroll down this page, this is an article. My husband was a lot more flamboyant, or I don't know, he could engage with people. He was good at getting donations and contribution. He was just good at that. And he managed to get a reporter and a photographer to come to our house before we even shot anything to do an article on us. And if you click on this over here, that's the article that was in the Philadelphia Inquirer about us producing the movie. Right. Yep. And then we were also in the Anointed News Journal also. Can you see this right here?
I see the actors. Of course, Mr. Brian A. Wilson is on there.
Right. And these are some of the other actors. Some of them are local Philadelphia actors, but they have also IMDb credits. Chuck Harris has been in quite a few movies. So has Chris Clark, Karen Martin Wilson, Waller Martin, I'm sorry. She is also a director and a producer. She was our production manager, but she did play a part. Okay. And some of the others, Wendy Smith also. Daryl Lingo was our main actor.
Yes.
I'm going to try to get him to, see if he and the director would come on. He's really good.
Well, definitely. Well, explain to me the process. So once you get it submitted to the film festival, I think the biggest thing that people want to know is when will they be able to see the full film? Right.
So, Bert, you know what they ask me when I submit? I have to sign an agreement that states that they will be the world premiere if they select the film.
So we actually have to wait until they say, It's a go. Oh man, now it's even more suspense. Oh my gosh.
I mean, we do, like I said, the trailer is good. So I hope you guys come on and see the trailer. It's really good. The synopsis is here, you can read about our cast and crew. The thing is, yeah, we can't show it publicly. We did have a couple of private screenings for our donors. We had some people that really helped us get this done. But yeah, so we're waiting,
Oh, man.
This is the process.
Well, for the folks that are watching the show, be sure to stick around. Right after the interview, I will be sure to add on the trailer so that way you can watch it. Or you can definitely just go on the links right now to be sure to click on it and check it out.
And I'll show you one more thing.
Yes, definitely.
By lightning, if you click on these links up here, you'll see links about my books. But Son of a Covet is the story that the movie is based on. So you can come to my Struck by Lightning page, get some information, buy my book. It's a good read. I've got very good reviews about it. And actually, there's you can read one of the stories for free. So if you come down here and click on Mine Eyes, that one's free. You can read it, give you an idea of what the stories are like.
Oh, good.
Yep. And HB, my novel, as I said, I'm writing my first screenplay. And if you're interested in what the screenplay is going to be about, it's chapter 5 that I'm writing my screenplay on. And this is a promo about the screenplay I'm writing.
Okay.
All right. All right. So I'll give this back to you if I can find, okay, stop share. There we go.
Perfect, perfect. Now, you told us about the, passing of your late great husband and such, and, coming back a year later, and, doing so much more, getting back into it, getting it out to the festivals. And I mean, that would just honestly keep me up at night, it's like waiting for Sundance to get back to me, waiting for these other festivals to get back to me. What keeps you motivated and keep pushing on?
Well, it's really a lesson in patience, because you're right. It's like, okay, now we gotta wait, So like I said, we just heard from BFI. They're not having their festival. Toronto, they didn't select our film, so we're not in Toronto. So we're just, the thing is that makes it good about waiting is that all these festivals are spread out throughout the year. So like Tribeca hasn't come up yet for their submission, so we'll be submitting to Tribeca. So if we don't get selected by Pan-African Film Festival or the Rotterdam Film Festival or whatever, we still got others that we're entering it into. Now it's going to come to a point where we won't be able to enter those film festivals because they put a time limit. Most of them, you have to have completed your production within the year or within 12 months of the date of the festival, something like that. Yeah, because
so you have a movie that's already done. Because when did you guys actually get done? 2015?
No, we started in 2015. So the film didn't get completed post-production and then completed till January 2020. We just finished.
Oh, wow.
Years to get this thing together.
Oh, man. That is awesome. Well, the benefit is that you kept going. There was no stopping. There was no limit. There was no saying like, hey, we'll just get back to it. There was that constant continuance in making sure that the movie got out there. And now it's honestly just that waiting game. It just feels like a long Jeopardy song where it's like,
It's a miracle too, because the idea that we managed to raise the money and then get 22 people, cast and crew, to block out 12 days, you know what I mean? And that everybody came and showed up like a regular job, and it was amazing, that we got that done. It was 12 long days too. Some long, it was a lot. It was a lot of work.
That's a beautiful thing. Now, you had mentioned that another book is coming out, or another screenplay is coming out, correct?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
writing my first screenplay. So I'm taking some workshops at scribe.org of Philadelphia.
Okay.
So I also joined Sundance they call it Sundance Collab. So they have workshops also, and you collaborate with other artists, other producers, other writers and directors. Yeah, and so it's really different. I mean, it's so different writing a screenplay versus writing a book, because, a screenplay, really, you're writing directions for a cast and crew. So you can't be very wordy about, you have to state things as they're happening. And it's like directions, as opposed to when you're writing a novel, you want to put the person in the mindset, it's so much more wordy.
Right.
But I'm learning the technique, the technical terms, all that stuff. It's not just like sitting down and, just writing,
Absolutely.
If you want somebody to pick up your script, you better have it in the right format, and that kind of stuff. They say that if it's not in the right format, they'll just toss it aside because they get thousands of scripts. So.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, kudos to you for continuing on. One question I do want to ask you though, that I ask everybody that comes on the show, for those that are struggling to even get their business started, or because of everything currently going on right now, just going on the next day to make themselves known, what advice would you give somebody to actually keep that motivation going?
I usually, I tell people that I have accountability partners. I mean, my husband was one, but even before him, it's good to have people around you who believe in you, even if it's one or two people that don't let you just let things fall by the wayside. I mean, I had some friends that actually got on my nerves, and they were like, didn't you say you were going to be done with that, book so that you could be in the
Man, look, what? You don't know what I got going on today. You don't know what's in my life right now.
Right. But it keeps you going. Then also I make a schedule, and I got to get better at this myself too, again. But setting a certain time of day, whether it be first thing when you wake up or before you go to bed at night, just block out a particular time in the day and say, I'm going to write. And even if you write a sentence, you did it, because some days you might write one sentence. Other days you might write like 12 pages. You know what I mean? And it'll come. That's how I got my books done. I just stuck to that,
I love that.
And yeah. And then don't waste the time. I don't like to waste time. So COVID, I'm like, it might be bad, but I'm not wasting the time, because this gave me an opportunity to take some workshops, got the software, started writing the script. I wouldn't have time to do that if I was still working, at my job. I'm working temporary now, so, but I've gotten laid off over the years, and I got to say, I was in IT with IBM, and my career was IT for 35 years. I'm semi-retired now, but
you in the technology field, you ain't leaving that. You ain't leaving that. Now with everything going on, and they got new stuff going on, you be like, what they got over there?
The stress of it, oh my God. But whenever I was furloughed or laid off, that was my opportunity. And I would dive right in, and I got both of my books finished while I was on furlough. And now here's COVID, right? And so I'm like, I got to get this screenplay done, because I have time now to do workshops and everything. So I just, I try to tell people, don't waste the time. Don't be so down and look at it like, oh God, we can't do anything, because you can actually do some things, some productive things. So.
And that's a plural, things, y'all. Things, all right? Things, and for the uptight, things, all right? So, no, I appreciate that so much, Cyndi. And then before I let you go, is there anything else folks should know about the movie, or even you yourself that they can look forward to?
Well, I should have mentioned too. Yeah, my the director. Now that you mention it.
Oh yes, but of course, my dear. Go ahead.
The director, Dwight Wilkins, he asked me if I would co-produce his next film. And so that was really something, because I was like, I guess he saw something in me. I mean, like I said, it was trial by fire, and now I've taken some producer workshops and things. And producer is like a person, the one that does everything. That's what I can say about that. You're gonna make sure everything comes together and get the movie done. And he asked me to co-produce his next movie. He's working on a screenplay now. It's going to be a full feature film. I can't say much more about it.
No, we're just going to leave it at that. It's just that when the movie comes out and you tell me, hey, Dan, remember the interview that we did? This is the interview.
That's right. And pray for us, people, that we get selected by one of these top film festivals.
Oh, you will. You will. I speak things into fruition on this show. Right. I speak things into fruition. So you will be selected. You will be featured. We will be checking it out, whether it be through Redbox, Netflix, YouTube movies, some way, somehow, but it will be shown.
Right.
It will be shown. Not in the movie theaters yet. We ain't trying to get people sick.
No, matter of fact, I think theaters are done. You know?
Yeah.
Streaming services are it now.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. There ain't no way somebody's spending $20 on popcorn and got to sit in a certain spot.
Okay. You know.
So, man. Well, Cyndie, I want to thank you again so much for being on the show. Can you give us that website one more time before I let you go?
Yes, it is www.cydwebsterbeachem.com. That's CYDWEBSTERBEACHAM.com.
Awesome. And thank you again so much for being on the show, sharing your testimony with us, and the key things that is keeping you motivated, and for folks listening, keeping them motivated as well. So it's such a blessing and honor to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much, Daniel.
Definitely. And for the folks at home, be sure to check out the RNG Radio Show Monday through Friday on Facebook Live at 7 a.m. Or you can catch out the replay with great interviews such as these on YouTube. Thanks again, Cyndie. You have a good one.
Thank you. Bye.
We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against the spiritual wickedness in higher places. Wake up! Stop obsessing over this woman before she leads you into a deep, dark hole.
You know I can't shake you from my system.
So, did you file the divorce papers yet?
No, not yet.
From the first time I saw you, I knew we had something in common.
You wanna know something?
What?
I love you.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming to you as a friend, all right? I mean, I can understand you and Ethel are finished, but Nisha, come on, you don't know who she really is. That woman is hiding some major skeletons.
Look, let her share. See it?
No, I don't see anything. Maybe you're just tired.
So I guess you're ready to meet your maker then, huh?
What's going on?
I just don't like liars, that's all.
You have two paths before you, life and death. Staying with that woman is death. She'll bring upon you nothing but evil, day in and day out. crawling around here like a caterpillar instead of flying like a butterfly. Don't leave this earth without leaving some kind of legacy behind.